What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another huge RPG news incoming today. We've got some big news to go over, but before we get into all of this, please make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe if you are someone new, if you enjoy daily gaming videos, RPG content, and live streams all the time. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into this, and we're starting off with a huge rumor when it comes to the My Hero franchise, one of my favorite animes out there. And there is a rumor that ArcSys, or Arc System Works, is developing a Dragon Ball Fighter style game, but for My Hero Academia. So this is pretty crazy if this turns out to be true. And I know what some of you guys might be thinking, wait a minute, fighting game, not RPG. Well, we'll talk about that in just a bit. So a rumor is going around, and once again, take this with a grain of salt until we get the details. Bandai Namco does have a big E3 show planned, which I will be streaming and talking about, of course, so look forward to that in the coming weeks with E3 upon us. But I wanted to go over this rumor first. Comes from 4chan, so once again, take that as it may be. But apparently, Dragon Ball FighterZ was leaked in the same exact way. So I'm going to go through this information here along with playable characters. I'll have that listed up to where you guys can see. So I'm going to go over the base information here first. So ArcSys is currently working on a My Hero Academia fighting game that is planned to be announced at E3. Before I break down what I know, let me just answer two questions preemptively. Why choose My Hero Academia over something more popular like One Piece or JJK? A couple different series were being tossed around, One Piece and JJK being two of them, but My Hero was what was settled on for a few reasons. One, future events in the anime being seen as a potential boost in popularity. If you read the manga, you'll know. The coming movie as well as a future animated project. You'll pick up on what that means later. Also two, why make a new fighting game when One's Justice 2 just got a new season of DLC announced, which is true? Well, Bandai Namco feels that One Justice 2 and arena fighters in general occupy a more casual market than a more traditional fighters. But they also noticed that in general, more competitive fighters draw more attention with tournaments and such and want to get said attention to My Hero. The game is also being planned to be released closer to the end of One's Justice DLC cycle anyway, and I have to agree with that. The casual arena fighters definitely more on that broad end, but I think that like the traditional tournament fighters like a Dragon Ball FighterZ or like a Persona, ArcSys has done before, like a Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, those have the potential to last longer and go above and beyond what we see with these arena fighting games. So for example, Dragon Ball FighterZ versus like a Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, whereas people drop that after they're done playing the single player and quick time events and one button combat, people continuously play Dragon Ball FighterZ longer than even Xenoverse and some of the other games that have been very successful. So I understand where they're coming from there. And while I don't read the manga with My Hero, I understand that this franchise, it's essentially Japanese X-Men, has a very huge potential to blow up in popularity, maybe even triple or quadruple based on some of the things out there. And this game could help explode that because One's Justice, the first one and the second one, were not as successful as, let's say, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And I don't think they're even as successful as, let's say, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm in terms of sales. So I understand why they're going with this angle. Considering what My Hero is, the type of characters, I think it would fit very well if this does turn out to be true. Now, I am going to go into the game itself and some more information that was listed here. Now, there's 4 buttons, L, M, H, and support action. It's 2v2 in terms of the gameplay with 1 assist, so different from Dragon Ball FighterZ. The roster consists of playable and assist-only characters. Assists can range from offensive to defensive, with type varying by character. Each character has access to support items. That is what the support action is tied to. Support actions vary by item and can range from a simple projectile to something that can affect your mobility. Gameplay is more grounded and not as combo heavy as Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is good, and just some of the other games that are out there. There will be stage transitions similar to GGS and Dragon Ball FighterZ. No idea what kind of netcode it's going to use. So is it going to be rollback or is it going to be delay based on what they already have? also uses the same tech that Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ does for its aesthetic and that comic book style look. So very interesting on this when it comes down to it. I have to say, once again, if this does turn out to be true, it is going to be very, very cool. I'm a big My Hero fan, so we'll see what happens with it. It's a rumor for right now, so take it just like that. Now, we talked about all that when it comes to a fighting game, but once again, this is RPG news, so how does it relate to what I'm talking about here? Well, in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, there was a single-player RPG mode that had the experience levels and had the damage numbers and had a story and all of that. And I think that going forward, especially with an IP like this, they would definitely add an RPG mode to My Hero if this does get done. I think that it's primed for that. So I see them adopting an RPG single-player mode like they had in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus for this game if it does turn out to be real. So that's one of the reasons why I'm talking about it here in this video, because people have been asking for a true action RPG My Hero game for a while now, and ever since they saw it, they're like, man, this would be really cool for like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance style of game or something like that. So I do feel that ArcSys would develop something like that to get some more of the casual base of My Hero fans to pick up this game, just like they used to try to get casual fans to pick up Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. So what are your thoughts on this rumor here? Would you like to see a My Hero fighting game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. This is a story that's been out for a little bit, but I wanted to cover it because as a huge Shin Megami Tensei fan, there is a brand new game in development from former SMT staff, and they've got the name for it, plus a teaser website. It's called Monark. So let's get into this topic here, guys. So a teaser website, an official Twitter and Line accounts for Monark, the quote, new school RPG from former Shin Megami Tensei and Megami Tensei developers, teased for a June 10th announcement, and the latest issue of the Weekly Famitsu has been opened. Now, the website features a number of names, most of which you can't see, but the only 4 that can be made out are as listed right here. So these are some of the heavy hitters when it comes to the Shin Megami Tensei franchise and what they've done previously. Now, all 4 developers have worked on Shin Megami Tensei and Megami Tensei games. Now, the website also includes the Japanese phone number 050-3204-4961. If you call that number, you will hear some struggling and a scream, followed by a man saying something like, "Finally, I've been waiting for you, my foolish, silly, precious child." Now, that could be taken in a completely different direction, but it's not real though, guys, okay? Remember, it's for their game, promotion marketing. Now, the source code for the website contains the text, 4 choices, 4 fates. The choice is your egos to make. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. The common name for the domain seems to be csfuryu.jp, also suggesting it's a Furyu title. Now, the publisher, developer, and platforms for Monark have yet to be officially announced, but it's exciting nonetheless. I mean, a dark style kind of spin-off, not Shin Megami Tensei, but still from the former developers making their own game and branching off. This is good. You know what this means? This means that Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, that style of game is getting more and more popular, and we definitely need more developers trying to make games that are around that type of style. There aren't a lot. SMT and Persona are a few. Now, you think that there's a lot of them, but there really isn't. So I'm very happy to see this new RPG being teased. We've got a reveal June 10th. So what does that mean? Well, they're aiming for this to be a worldwide thing, not just in Japan, because that's lining up with the E3 hype. So it makes complete sense in terms of how they're marketing this so far. So I'm very excited to hear more about this. June 10th is coming up next week as of the time that I'm recording this video. So let's get it going right there in the E3 hype. So what do you guys think so far about these teases with Monark, this brand new RPG from former SMT staff? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic. I know you guys have probably already seen this on my channel when it comes to a video or other places, but we have to talk about this because this is massive news with Shin Megami Tensei V, the website update that leaked the November release date. There's so much to get into and just not enough time. Now, I want to go over the official information that was leaked from the website. You guys will see some screen grabs and you also will see the information on there. And then we'll briefly talk about some of that stuff as well. So Shin Megami Tensei V will launch for the Nintendo Switch on November 11th, according to a reportedly inadvertent update to the game's official Japanese website spotted by Persona Central. It will cost 8,890 yen for the standard edition in Japan and 14,800 yen for the limited edition Forbidden Nabino box. Now, the sequel was previously announced as a simultaneous worldwide release, meaning that it should also be launching on November 11th in North America and Europe if the leak is accurate. Now, the website also went over more details: the story, the character, the world, demons, the system, and the Forbidden Nabino box in terms of the special edition and all of that. So I will have that listed, link in the description, and I'll also put it up for you guys here as well. And I'll also put up the screen grabs, and all of that once again can be seen, link in the description below. So now, if accurate when it comes to all of this, it's likely the information was planned to be announced during Nintendo Direct E3 2021 on June 15th. All previous Shin Megami Tensei V information has been announced during Nintendo events, and I think that's what I want to talk about in terms of things that's a little bit different from my previous video that I did on this, or my live streams if you caught that. Nintendo is really pushing this game. Some people were like, oh, well, it's right there in line with Pokemon, it's going to get overshadowed. And I have to tell people that are saying that, do not be worried about this game. There is a huge ground swelling of core Shin Megami Tensei fans that have been waiting desperately for this game. There is a groundswell, a new, I would say, wave of, I would just say, Persona fans as well that want to play something like this. We don't have Persona on the Nintendo Switch, so this is the next best thing for so many people out there because it is similar when it comes to it. But this game in particular is very important for the future of Atlus and Sega when it comes to what they're going to do on the Nintendo Switch, in my opinion, and also what they're going to do going forward with their games. Remember, this is an Unreal Engine 4 developed game that they've been working on for multiple years now at this point, and Nintendo has been teasing this, and they want to push it as a big RPG release to gain more popularity. They would love for it. I know Nintendo would love for this game, and Sega and Atlus, to be on the level of a Persona, but they need to have a clean worldwide release for this game, and they also need to have a good release date for this game to where it's going to have a lot of eyes on it. Now, Nintendo wouldn't position this game, Sega, Atlus, they wouldn't position it in November if it wasn't going to be a banger, if it wasn't going to be a game that they felt could draw a lot of numbers in terms of sales, or at least is that good when it comes to the ratings of the game. They wouldn't put it out there. And if you've played Shin Megami Tensei 4 or Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final, you know good and well that these developers definitely have that pedigree to make an amazing game. But that was on the 3DS. Now they're moving up a number of generations and graphics technology with that Unreal Engine 4. So it makes perfect sense to me if this game is going to be a god tier type of game, which it's shaping up to be based on the description and how long they've been taking to make this game and how they haven't really shown any gameplay or anything. They want it to be a surprise. So I'm excited to see exactly what they do here, and I'm with Nintendo when it comes to the confidence of releasing it in November, and I don't think it's going to be overshadowed by Pokemon because Pokemon's a remake. This is a brand new game, and you're going to get a lot more people interested in like this Unreal Engine 4 big RPG for the Nintendo Switch right there in the holiday period. This is the time to make new fans. This is the time to get new people in, and you're going to need that in that month of November. There are plenty of people out there. Not everybody's going to want to play Pokemon. People want to play other things, so I have no issue with that, and I feel that this game is going to do extremely well considering the next game that we're going to talk about here in terms of when that released and how well that game did. There is no reason why SMT5 can't be a multi-million unit seller, and I think people are going to start paying attention a little bit more to the SMT franchise after they finally reveal this game, because it does seem like it's going to be a big reveal and it's going to be really good based on some of the snippets of information that we did get. So what are your thoughts on SMT5 and this reported leak of November 11th release date? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin shipments and digital sales. Check this. Top 1 million units. They originally planned for only 30K games sold for this. The best thing that they did was put this game on the Nintendo Switch. And why I said that it relates to the previous article that I just talked about, the previous story with SMT5, is that many people felt, or some people felt, I want to say many, felt that SMT5 could have a problem selling in the holiday period, but Sakuna of Rice and Ruin on the Nintendo Switch sold extremely well when it released last year, right there in the heat of the holiday with all of the big games across PlayStation and Xbox and the launches and Nintendo Switch and what that had and everything. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin sold hundreds of thousands of copies in just a couple weeks, so people were excited to play that on the Nintendo Switch. It also released on PlayStation 4 and everything too, but a bulk of the sales were definitely on the Nintendo Switch, so very good to see that. So they last reported back on March 31st that the game sold, or shipped more like, 950,000 units, so an additional 50,000 units since then. This game is selling extremely well. And why is it selling so well? Well, because of word of mouth marketing. I made a number of videos on it. I know a lot of you guys bought the game based off of my recommendation for it, and a lot of you guys reached out to me and said, yo OJ, this is a sleeper hit, this is a great game. I played the heck out of that game. I did multiple videos on it. I think it's fantastic. It's a very fun game with a very unique hook in terms of 2D battling and kind of dungeon crawling a little bit, but then also the simulation life of like farming and doing stuff like that. So it creates a unique mix that Switch players are loving right now at this point, and of course PC players and PlayStation 4 players can enjoy as well. So I'm very happy for the developers of this game. Once again, they originally only expected 30,000 units to be sold, and so they made a lot more money than they were expecting. So I'm pretty sure that they're dancing up and down about this game, and I bet that we'll probably see a sequel for Sakuna of Rice and Ruin within the next year and a half or so. I think that they're definitely going to want to follow up on this success, but they need to make sure that they don't rest on their laurels and make the game even bigger and better for the next one out there, because they have caught the attention of fans worldwide. So what are your thoughts on all the different topics that we discussed here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all the latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.